Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
The ball settled into Mark Teixeira's glove. It set off a celebration. Yankees won their second in a row after having lost the previous three. Now game 3 of this 4-game set. And Mark Teixeira's been a big part of this with his power bat. And speaking of Mark Teixeira bat, if you're a kid at the stadium today, you get one when you walk in. Not a bad deal. Today, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Cleveland Indians in game 3 of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Paul O'Neill and Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. It was 4-0 yesterday, and a big part of yesterday's game, more home runs. 3 more Yankee home runs. And if you look at 2 and 3 in the Yankee order, Curtis Granderson and Mark Teixeira, they already have 39 home runs combined. Not too bad, Kenny.
Yeah, Curtis Granderson has been on fire of late. In fact, he's homered in the last 3 ball games. Final game of the Boston series, homered in the first inning against Josh Beckett. And if you want a souvenir from Curtis Granderson, the best place to sit here at Yankee Stadium is in the second deck in right field. He's peppered 13 home runs here at Yankee Stadium. 13 of his 20. He's tied for the league lead. The last 3 have gone to almost to the same spot.
So Curtis Granderson's been on fire, and now Mark Teixeira, the guy who bats behind him in the lineup, Paul.
Well, Kenny, you talk about the league. Well, Mark Teixeira's only one back. I mean, he had 6 home runs on the road trip. He added another one yesterday. 19 home runs for the season. Mark Teixeira's used to hitting home runs, but he's off to a great pace this year.
And if you ask Curtis Granderson, who leads him by 1 home run, Curtis Granderson, he will end up passing me right now with that home run. That gave him 19, so it's 20-19. So it brings back memories of the M&M boys, that famous summer of 1961. Through the games on June 11th, Maris had 20, Mantle had 18, and through June 11th, Granderson has 20, Teixeira has 19, but the Yankees of this year played 8 more games to this point than the Yankees of 1961, so those numbers are a bit skewed. Let's look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Josh Tomlin's going to go for the Indians 7-3, 3.71. Freddie Garcia will get the start for the Yankees, try to bounce back from a poor outing against the Red Sox, 4-5 with a 3.86 ERA. Well, the Yankees have a reconfigured bullpen with all of the injuries. And you know David Robertson is now the 8th inning guy. Yesterday, he pitched an inning and a third. He got 4 strikeouts. We'll have Paul O'Neill explain what the phenomenon of David Robertson's about. The afternoon yesterday, David Robertson, the new eighth inning guy, gave up 2 hits, and then he got tough ball.
Well, he has the ability to strike people out, and that's why he can get out of jams. You see that good strikeout fastball, and then he ends up with a strikeout hook, and then he ends up with a fist pump. He's pumped about his new role.
And isn't he pumped about these numbers? 1.52 ERA. Opponents hit 202 against him. Now with runners on, it drops to 172. And if they're in scoring position, it drops to 140. He struck out the last 8 batters he faced with the bases loaded. And look at the strikeout ratio. 15.1 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. Only Al Albuquerque has a better ratio amongst relievers. So David Robertson is the new 8th inning guy. How is he adjusting to that role?
The role doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I'll pitch whenever, you know. I'm sure there's going to be games where I'll be in there before the 7th or 8th inning, you know. It depends on the situation and the time of the game. And I'll take the ball whenever Joe calls for me to take.
Well, he's going to get it a lot, that's for sure. Yankees and the Indians, game 3 of this 4-game set. A nice Sunday afternoon at the stadium. Balls have been flying out. Big stars, lineups. First pitch, baseball right here, coming up next on Yes. The ultimate driving machine, and by Xfinity. Only from Comcast. Call 1-800-XFINITY to learn more. That's what it's all about. Taking the kid to the ball game and that, cotton candy. Oh, yeah. Kid has no idea where he is, but still, he'll remember it. Great scene. Great scene. Great day at the ballpark. Sunday. Yeah, he's happy or crying, one of the two.
He's mad. The game hasn't started yet.
So are you. Couple of minutes it will. Big crowd at the stadium. Today's Indian starting lineup presented by Avis. Michael Brantley in center field will lead off as Drupal Cabrera, the shortstop, bats second. Batting third, DHing today, Grady Sizemore. Carlos Santana will catch. He'll clean up. Batting fifth, playing right field, Shin-Soo Choo. Matt Laporta at first base, going to bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing second base, Orlando Cabrera. Austin Kearns in left field will hit eighth. And batting ninth and playing third base, Jack Hanahan.
Here's a look at Freddie Garcia on the mound for the Yankees this afternoon. He draws the assignment on a beautiful Sunday. 10 starts so far this year, 4-5 record, 3.86 ERA. Opponents hitting .265. Go check out our Jeep Pitcher Scout report. He's a day tripper. He hasn't been defeated in day games this year. He's 2-0 with a 1.47 ERA in day games. He wishes there was no night baseball at all. And split the difference. If his splitter is working, he can be very effective. That's his put-away pitch. And he's 0 for 6. His last 6 starts against the Cleveland Indians, he has not won.
Now you got me singing Beatles song. It'll be in the head till the 5th inning. Austin Kearns getting a little touch-up paint there before you go out.
Does that work?
I didn't use it. You know why? Because I would end up wiping it and end up all over my face. Some people just look like they're made. Mattingly looked like he was made for eye block.
That's right.
You know?
But when it rolls, it looks good. You look at Alice Cooper. It's a great look.
Yeah, that is nice.
Michael Brantley digs in. Freddie Garcia is ready. Let's do it here in New York. And the first pitch is high. We're underway. C.B. Buckner is the home plate umpire. He'll be calling balls and strikes. Indians 34 and 28 percentage points ahead of the Tigers in the Central.
The difference is the Tigers are on charging and the Indians are kind of going in the other direction right now.
The 2-0. There's a strike.
And a lot has to do during the season. You look at when you face teams. Early in the year, the Indians didn't play a lot of good teams. They played Boston when Boston was playing horrible. And now you got the Indians. You look at this homestand with the Yankees. You've got Boston, the Indians, and Texas. The Indians are playing bad now. The Texas Rangers are a very good team. Are playing bad now. So might be a good little homestand here, other than the Boston Red Sox. Glad we got them out of here.
3-1 to Bradley. He pops it up. Alex Rodriguez comes in, makes the call and the catch. Let's take a look at the entire Yankee defensive schematic brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. We've already seen A-Rod, so start with him. A-Rod, Jeter, Cano, Teixeira, third to first. Gardner, Granderson, Swisher, left to right. Martin is behind the plate after missing 4 games with a stiff lower back. And the veteran right-hander Freddie Garcia on the mound. And there's Russell Martin. Yankees held their lineup up until very late because they wanted to see if Martin was able to go. They also wanted to see if A-Rod was able to go after getting hit just below the left hip yesterday, but they were both okay and in the lineup. And there's a strike to Asdrubal Cabrera.
Walking through the clubhouse on the way to the elevator to come up here, and Joe Girardi, this is 12 o'clock or so. You could tell he was a little flustered, didn't know what was up. I asked. I say, what's going on? He's trying to figure out a lineup. He's got so many people down, so many people questionable. It's just not the everyday where you just walk in and then post that lineup you're used to post it every single day.
Well, Russell Martin, Michael and I saw him on the way upstairs here, and he said he was going to play. And true to his word, he's in there. Be interesting to see how he bounces around today on pitches in the dirt. Back problems, that can bother you just breathing, let alone catching.
I don't know if you saw it in the Boston series. He was doing pirouettes up on the screen there. He felt real good about himself.
Here's Grady Sizemore. Hot shot up the middle and through for a base hit. We got it, Freddie.
We talked about Grady Sizemore. Used to be the leadoff hitter. Now he's in the 3-hole and really needs to get going offensively with Hafner on the DL. And this team is missing the offensive punch they had early in the year.
Tell you, Paul, whatever he got off the bus looking for, he got it on that first pitch, didn't he?
It's always nice. First at bat, base hit, first pitch. You don't really even have to think about anything. Don't think your head doesn't get involved in your at bats in the game.
It sets the tone for the rest of the game.
Sure.
I thought the first at bat was the most important.
Here's Carlos Santana.
You see how much of a mental game it is, and there are stats, Kenny. The average of hitters, once they get their first at bat when they get a hit, it's like 400. They're 400 hitters the rest of this game, and the guys that are off to an 0 for 2 start, those are the guys that as a pitcher you want to face.
Santana, very patient hitter for a young hitter. This is only his second full year in the league. He's third in the league in walks. He's only 2 for 8 in the series. One of those hits was a homer that landed the Yankee bullpen.
Long. Talked about him a lot yesterday. He got a spot start at first base and looked pretty good. He's a natural catcher. That's where you're going to see him the majority of the time.
Jose Bautista leads the league in walks, and Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers is second. And then Santana.
The 0-1. Everything off speed with Freddie. Occasionally he'll sneak a fastball in there. Got Santana from the Dodgers in the Casey Blake trade. Played in the Futures game in 09. Eastern League MVP in 09. Made his major league debut a year ago yesterday. Again off speed. Count 1 and 2.
Major league debut a year ago, and now he's a cleanup hitter for the Cleveland Indians. Switch hitter. Good catcher. Should be around for a long time.
Runner goes. Strike 3. Santana down looking. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Indians nothing. And the New York Yankees coming to bat. Sports and their starting lineup presented by Bank of America. This is what's going to face Josh Tomlin. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off batting. Second and playing center, Curtis Granderson. Mark Teixeira is at first. Alex Rodriguez is at third. Robinson Cano bat fifth. He'll play second. Nick Swisher is the number 6 hitter playing right. Jorge Posada, the DH, at seventh, batting eighth and catching. Russell Martin and Brett Gardner in left field is going to bat ninth.
Derek Jeter getting ready to lead it off for the Yankees. He'll be facing a 26-year-old right-hander, Josh Tomlin, who's 1-0 in his career against the New York Yankees. We'll get to that in just a moment. We look at his numbers on the year. 12 starts, good record, 7.3 ERA, less than a hit per inning, only 11 walks at 77 2/3, and the league's hitting .225 against. Let's check out the Chief Pitcher Scouting Report on Josh Tomlin. Josh Tomlin, he was an all-star last year at AAA Columbus, and he got called up on July 27th in Cleveland and beat the Yankees in his major league debut. And he's been a history maker. I'll get to that just after this first pitch.
Here's Derek Jeter.
He's the only pitcher in Cleveland history in his first 25 appearances to at least go 5 innings in each and every start.
It's impressive for a guy just coming up from AAA.
A little nervous on the mound.
I was going to say, he's got a little twitch going on in that hand, doesn't he?
Count 2-0. Pitchers do that to disguise their grip, but he's doing it a lot. It's like he's chopping onions in there. The 2-0. Count 3-0.
Makes you want to tear up, doesn't it?
And the 3-0. Taking all the way a strike. Tomlin deals the 3-1. Driven deep to center field. Going back, Brantley. Still back. Still back on the track. He'll make the play. Kind of took a weird route to the ball, but he got there.
Well, an outfielder plays Derek Jeter shallow, but he did the right thing because he never really turned his back on the ball where he lost it. Got himself an angle at the end of this play where he could still make the catch. Derek Jeter hit this ball pretty well.
Well, Brantley's usually in left field. You have Sizemore in center, but Sizemore's the DH today. Brantley stays with it. And you can see Derek's family up there, Dad sitting up there, and not that time. That ball had too much air time.
Derek's still 9 hits away from 3,000. There's Curtis Granderson with his 20th home run yesterday. Swing and miss.
One thing I remembered about Tomlin in that start in Cleveland, a lot of changeups, and he has a good one, and you just saw one. Yeah, pretty good curveball right there. It was in the dirt. But he was trying to get Granderson to chase it.
Tomlin has not been great this year following Indian losses. 3 starts following an Indian loss, 0-2, 6.50. Fouled away. Lights are on here at the stadium, kind of an overcast day. Well, let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 67 degrees, high humidity, not much wind. And finally, the forecast is clearing. It's not dank today.
Michael, in our open, we were talking about Granderson and Teixeira in relation to Manlin Maris back in 1961. But you had a caveat to that comparison, didn't you?
Well, through the games of June 11th, Maris had 20, Mantle had 18.
Yeah.
And now Granderson has 20 and Teixeira has 19. You say, well, they're ahead of the pace. Well, not really, because the Yankees have played 8 more games than the 61 Yankees on this date. That one is served nicely in the left field. A base hit. You don't see Granderson do that much, but that's a good piece of hitting.
Well, he waited on a changeup, and a changeup usually fades away from a left-handed hitter. And if he's out in front a bit, let's see if he is. Well, not really. Pitch was out away from him, and he drove it to left field. That is a good piece of hitting. That reminds me of Paul O'Neill.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of his home runs lately where he's been hooking that ball. And if you try to pull and hook that pitch there where you're out in front a little bit and the ball is running off the plate, I mean, again, even though you're hitting home runs, you still have to use left field.
Granderson a threat to go. Mark Teixeira at the plate.
In fact, if you show them you can hit that pitch, Ketty, that's where you get the home runs, because then they think that they have to come in to get strikes. And, you know, Curtis has hit a few in the upper deck in the last couple days.
And you come into your strength.
Shift is on, obviously, for Mark Teixeira. And these two have homered in the same game 6 times. That's tied with Cruz and Napoli for the most games by teammates. Back-to-back. Last year, they didn't have back-to-back at all, Teixeira and Granderson. Bat day here at the stadium. Mark Teixeira bat day. A lot of the kids get those souvenirs as they walk in. Count 3-0. Took a look at the autograph, the Mark Teixeira autograph on the bat. You can't convince me there's any letters after the X.
It's a text.
He's choosing sides.
It gets a green light here.
Mark, that's kind of the look I used to give myself.
You know what? This might work out, because now he's got a 3-1 count. He might get something better to hit.
Just a bit outside and up.
You wouldn't call him CB, you'd call him can't be.
No.
That can't be a strike. He waited to see if that was ball 4, and it was. So that puts runners on first and second with 1 out. And there's the bat. Now you tell me where the letters after the X happen to be.
This line is, that's just, yeah, that's text.
That's Mark Tex. It's a great gift for a kid coming to the ballpark.
How many of those do they give away? 15, 20,000?
I think 10,000.
10,000?
Yeah. Here's Alex Rodriguez.
That's a lot of wood.
Yeah,
you know that?
Alex got plunked yesterday, which led to an ejection as they threw out Mitch Talbot. Check this out, that the Yankees have been hit 33 times this year, and the opposing team has only been hit 21 times. And Joe Girardi told me today, I'm sick of our guys getting hit. I'm just sick of it. He said, even if it's not on purpose. There's a strike.
Michael, the stats you were giving me before the game were mind-boggling, because, you know, you hear about the old days and how much rougher and tougher and people threw at each other. You read off what Willie Mays and
Willie
Hank
Mays
Aaron,
had about 40, and Hank Aaron got hit 22, 23 times.
in their career,
Yeah.
not in a year.
Right.
And Alex is already over 100.
Yep. Well over.
And it's not like Alex Rodriguez stands right on top of the plate either.
I will contend, though, that there were more knockdown pitches in those days.
Yeah.
You know, pitches up and in on 0-2 counts. You know, you almost expected to be moved off the plate.
Yeah, that was almost automatic.
1-2. Swing. And miss. They were down on strikes. Let's check out the Indians defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. In the outfield, former Yankee Austin Kearns at left. And you've got Brantley in center and Chu over and right. Infield, Hanahan, Asdrubal, Orlando, and Laporta. Third to first, Carlos Santana behind the plate, Tom on the mound. Here's Robinson Cano.
3 for 6 in this series. I was talking with hitting coach Kevin Long about Robinson and that drill, the pull drill where they work on pulling the ball, and how Cano is very proficient at that. And his first hit yesterday was an example of a quick wristing the ball into right field.
Pitch upstairs.
And it's a drill that Kevin Long perfected in the minor leagues for hitters.
2 outs, runners in scoring position. Cano just 269.
You know, and the basic fan will think, well, anybody can pull the ball. You just open your front hip and your front shoulder. With the whole idea behind this drill is to keep you centered, to keep you balanced, to be able to pull the ball just, you know, through extension and quickness of the bat.
And keep it fair, too.
There's nothing worse than getting a good inside fastball and just hammering it, and it goes foul. And the pitcher almost laughs at you because it's nothing but strike one.
One. Skied the other way. Kearns giving chase and runs out of room. Today's closed captioning brought to you by Verizon Wireless.
Do you need 4G on your phone?
I think I have 4G.
I don't even think I need 3G, to tell you the truth.
I don't know if you need a G. You got a phone that takes quarters.
Is that what that little slot on here is for?
But you know, you stay where it works. You like it.
That's right.
Most people shave with a razor, not Paul. He calls people. 1-2. Fouled away. Hey, how about this for the Yankees in day games? Yankees are 16-3 in day games this year. So you might say, well, is that good or bad? Well, obviously it's not bad, but this is how good it is. If they win today, they will tie the best record ever in Major League Baseball dating back to 1961, the expansion era, 17-3. The 03 Mariners did it, the 06 Yankees did it.
Kind of unusual for an older veteran team, don't you think, Henry?
Yeah, usually they don't like those day games after night games.
The 1-2. IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
You know, the count's only 1-2, but Cano's fouled off so many pitches. They're going after to talk it over because he's shown them everything that he has so far.
Frustrating for a pitcher to know that you've thrown in pretty much everything you have, and it's a good feeling as a hitter. I've seen everything, been on everything, and you get a feeling like there's nothing he can really get me out with that I can't handle.
Except that breaking ball, and Cano is down looking. The Yankees, no runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. We've played 1 at the stadium. Yankees nothing, and the Indians nothing. Down looking at a breaking ball. 28th player to get 3,000 hits. Strike to Austin Kearns.
See that two-seam fastball starting on the outside corner and running into the righty and backwards to the lefty. That was what Bartolo Colon was so successful with yesterday. Throwing that ball at the lefty hip.
Runner goes. Throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base.
He got a great jump. Picks up his 4th steal of the year.
And the good part about this play, other than it's a good jump, it's a good stolen base, is Austin Kearns took that pitch. You see the guy gets a good jump, you take that pitch. I mean, this is a hittable pitch. But you see, he took it all the way. So out of the corner of his eyes, guy was running. Give those guys opportunities to steal the base. Now he has an opportunity to drive a guy in.
See some guys foul the pitch off.
Yeah.
And there's nothing gained.
With everything that's going on in your mind, with the pitch that's being delivered, you can actually process that was a good jump?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, but you can process he's going, you know the situation. Even if he's thrown out,
right,
you're leading off the next inning. So it's giving yourself an opportunity to hit with a guy on second base.
Yeah, you want him to get the second.
Grounded foul. Austin Kearns with a cup of coffee with the Yankees last year, and you could tell that he was liked because during batting practice when he came out, a lot of the players came up talking to him, a lot of the coaches kidding around with him. And if they didn't like him, they probably just ignore him. So Cabrera's in scoring position with 2 outs. 2-2 count on Kearns. Swing and a miss. Got him. Off speed. 3rd strikeout for Freddie Garcia. No runs a hit. No errors. 1 man left. Go to the bottom of the 2nd. There's no score on yes.
Schedule brought to you by Excella Express. Enjoy the journey. The Yankees and the Indians will finish up this series, a 4-game series tomorrow night. And then Tuesday, Texas Rangers come in first place in the Western Division. A couple of night games followed by a day game on Thursday. Getaway day for the Yankees. They move on to take on the Chicago Cubs hit the road, then go to Cincinnati, then back in the stadium to take on the Rockies on the 24th.
Don't just skip over it and go to Cincinnati. That's a big thing when you go to Cincinnati.
It's a big thing when you go to Wrigley Field.
Yeah, that is a little. That is big.
And also, we want to remind everybody, the game Saturday at Wrigley is on Fox, and Sunday it's on ESPN. But immediately following the game, Yankee extra innings. So if Jeter doesn't get the 3,000th hit, it's still going to be covered. If he doesn't get it on the homestand, it'll be covered Saturday on Sunday. And even if he does, we'll still have extra innings. And there is Nick Swisher grounding out to first and one away.
You know, the one thing I'm thinking about Nick Swisher, and I was looking through his stats the other day, is, you know, he's had some really good years here since he came over. And the one thing you don't want to see him do is mentally get back into that. You know, you have those bad years, Kenny, and you get back into the thought process of him. And in his last year in Chicago, where he hit, you know, like 215 or something, horrible year for him. Remembers it, and you just hate to bring yourself back to think, am I in that kind of year again?
Yeah, a lot of bad luck that year too. Hit the ball hard. Everything he hit hard was caught.
Here's Jorge Posada. Also, he and Ozzie Guillen exactly didn't see eye to eye. I don't think they're sending Christmas cards to each other.
And you're telling me he hit a hard 215.
Well, that's one reason why the Yankees traded for him. They thought there was going to be some upside there, and it turned out to be true.
So far, they're right. Yeah.
There's a strike. Line drive. The hot hitting Posada continues. Now a 6-game hitting streak, and he's 12 for his last 20. You do the math. He's hitting 600.
Pretty quick math on the part there, Mike.
Thank you.
This is his 5th hit in this series.
And, you know, when they haven't been ground balls that are finding holes, he's hitting the ball solid. I mean, this is a good swing behind it, driving the ball to right field.
He took a swing in batting practice, and it wasn't a good swing, but the ball went over. He was batting left-handed. The ball went over third base in batting practice down into the line. He said, I hope there were 17 guys on base. They all would have scored.
Here's Russell Martin.
By the way, we have the mystery of that pop-up solved. Our director, John Moore, reminded me it was in Seattle, not Baltimore, where Derek Jeter ran to third base and caught a pop-up directly to third base, and Jerry Hairston Jr. looked at him like he was about to cry. Like, you don't trust me to catch a pop-up?
Soft ground ball is short. There's one. There's two. A 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. In the second, no runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 2, no score on yes. On Yes is brought to you in part by Mazda. Zoom Zoom by Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees, and by Acela Express. Enjoy the journey. Kids got some Turkey Hill ice cream.
Good day for ice cream. Just about every day's a good day.
Jack Hanahan will lead off against Freddie Garcia, and there's a strike. Now, Garcia in his last start, you see the Lincoln scoreboard, there is no score. His last start, he went 1 2/3 innings. Well, he had 5 starts last year for the White Sox where he pitched 4 innings or fewer. And following those starts, he bounced back nicely, 2-0, 3.77. So will he bounce back like that today?
You know, every once in a while, you see a pitcher have a real bad start and get knocked out. Well, he isn't really overly taxed as he would have been if he'd gone deeper into the ball game. So he gets a little extra rest. Maybe that's why pitchers bounce back.
1-1. Popped up. Left field. Gardner makes the play for the first out.
For everyday players, you get out there every day, you have a bad game, and you have a bad night's sleep. Well, you're right back out there the next day. You have an opportunity to change it, and that's the only thing that I see as a starting pitcher that would be frustrated is if you have a bad game. You're looking at 4 days before you get to an opportunity to wipe that clean, and it could be a long wait.
Well, they always say the best job in the world is a starting pitcher coming off a great start, because you could revel in that for 4 days. But it's bad when there's a bad start and you have to sit on it for 4 days. Brantley popped up to A-Rod in the first inning. Last start, Garcia on 1 2/3. 4 hits, 4 runs against the Red Sox. Grounded on 1 hop to Cano. 2-way. If something just registered on your seismic graph, that was Kim Jones battling allergies. Wow. A piece of her skull flew off. She sneezed so hard. Wow.
Yeah. A few people are concerned. Just tweet her to make sure she's all right.
Here's Asdrubal Cabrera. Line to right field. It's going to be a base hit. And it gets past Swisher and goes to the wall. Cabrera's going for 2, and he will get himself a double.
Yankees have done a pretty good job against Cabrera in this series. He's been a hot hitter, and it actually knocked his batting average under 300.
That'll bring up Grady Sizemore. Let's check out the Home Depot hitter scouting report.
Well, you look at the numbers: 200, 100, 100. He's the only player in Cleveland history with 200 doubles, 100 home runs, and 100 or more stolen bases. And leadoff home runs, although he doesn't lead off much anymore, he has the club record for leadoff homers, 21 of them. And Joe Carter, remember Joe Carter, Paul?
Oh, I remember.
Good player. He and Grady Sizemore, the only 2 players in Cleveland history to go 30-30, 30 home runs, 30 steals in one season.
Joe Carter was an RBI machine, 100, 120 every single year.
And of course, with the Blue Jays, he hit the famous World Series winning home run against the Phillies.
And a great call by the late Tom Cheek. Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit another bigger home run. That is every kid in the backyard dream.
That's funny you were saying. I was just going through my mind. If you could, just put your hits where you wanted, your home runs where you wanted, it'd be a much more fun game. And believe me, everybody would pick that one. End the World Series with a home run.
Only 2 World Series have been ended with a home run. Joe Carter and Bill Mazeroski in 1960. The Mazeroski's was in a Game 7. Carter's was in a Game 6. There's a strike.
How about Bobby Thompson's home winning a pennant in the playoff
against your arch rival?
Yeah.
And Chris Chambliss against the Royals in 1976, and Aaron Boone with a walk-off against the Red Sox in extra innings in Game 7 of an ALCS.
Send you to the World Series.
But only 2 in World Series history. The 2-1. 3-1.
Sizemore, who you mentioned numbers, of course, he's got power and he's got speed. He's got a whole ball of wax.
Runner goes. And it's a walk and a stolen base. Cabrera sensed that Garcia wasn't paying attention. So now runners on the corners with 2 outs.
It's Cabrera's 8th stolen base. He hasn't been caught this year.
Rex Ryan's at the game, sporting pinstripes. Coach of the Jets. No team to coach right now. NFL is locked out.
Nothing else to do right now, right?
Nothing at all.
Come to the game.
He's a big baseball fan, though. I've talked to him about baseball.
Fly ball left field. Gardner is there, and that will do it. No runs to hit, no errors, and 2 men left. Go to the bottom of the 3rd. There's no score.
The New York Yankees.
This Tuesday, June 14th, for a special giveaway when the Yankees take on the Rangers. The first 25,000 guests will receive a 2011 Yankees Collectible Cup, courtesy of Premio Foods. Now, for tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Brett Gardner will lead off. Brett 5 for his last 14. And since April 26th, he's hitting .331. No score on the Lincoln scoreboard. And there's a strike.
Of course, the threat, the bunt leading off an inning is prominent with Gardner at the plate, and that brings in Jack Hanahan at 3rd on the grass. And over at first base, Laporta's about even with the bag.
Good off-speed pitch.
See Tomlin, I mean, he loves to keep the ball down in the zone, and you could see how he could be a frustrating at bat. He can change speeds. Everything seems to be down unless you'll see the catcher stand up with 2 strikes intentionally, wanting to get that ball up out of the zone.
1-2 from Tomlin. Hot shot, base hit. Down the right field line, kicks off the gate. Chu comes up throwing. It's a double for Gardner. What an arm on that kid.
Yeah, he's got a good arm. That was a good battle right there. He had great speed against great arm. And Chu was very accurate with the throw. But Gardner had just too much speed. First of all, once the curveball down, gets it down. But it's towards the inner half of the plate. And he rips it down the line. Here's Chu. The ball comes off to him. As Michael said, he's got a cannon out there in right field. Bang, bang play at second. Look at those wheels. I've been a whole different player if I could run like that. Turning it on. He has busted it into second and picks up a leadoff double. He had to hustle on that one. Most of the guys on the team would have held up at first base.
Absolutely.
Here's Derek Jeter. Deep drive to center field. Run down by Brantley in the first. Still 9 hits away from 3,000. Derek is 5 for his last 24. Hanahan in at third on the grass. Jeter shows bunt, takes inside.
Trying to get Gardner over to third, at least on that first pitch. But now he's got the count in his favor. He might get something a little better to hit here. Show bunt, you bring the third baseman in. Maybe get a chance to chop one by him.
Comes inside again.
Derek might be thinking hit the ball to the right side. At least get Gardner over to third.
These are times that, you know, those streaks and everything you're going through, you know, you have to get them out of your head because you still have to play the game of baseball. You know, his job right here is to hit the ball to the right side, get that runner over, hopefully find a hole.
So the first two pitches were in on him, though. That's Tomlin knows that he wants to keep the ball in. So it makes it much more difficult to hit the other way.
Gardner leads off second. He was caught stealing twice yesterday. And Joe Girardi said after the game, he said, I'm not taking a green light away from him. Great base runners are going to get thrown out. He said, I want him to keep taking those chances.
Yeah, it's funny how in this game you can become confident in anything, whether it's making plays in the outfield, stealing bases, anything, and he needs to get on a roll of stealing bases where he becomes confident, and it's almost in your mind, you know, you're going to be safe.
Count 3-1.
He's had 2 counts today, 3-1. Hitters counts. Last time up, he hit the ball pretty well to center field. He got run down. So here again, another good hitting count.
Driven out to right field, deep. Chu is there. He'll make the play. Jeter's going to get the runner over as Gardner advances to third. Jeter's hit the ball hard twice today. Nothing to show for it.
He's got a little something to show for it here because he advanced Gardner 90 feet, and now he's at third with 1 out. And that puts the onus on Curtis Granderson to have the Yankees play team baseball here. Get the runner in.
In at the corners, back at shortstop and second. Granderson singled to left in the first inning. Granderson has 52 runs scored, and that leads the majors, and he's tied for the major league lead with 20 home runs. So he's put together a great first half of the season. I mean, you get the sense he's going to end up being in Phoenix for the All-Star game. Granderson has gotten in a runner from third base with less than 2 outs 4 out of 6 times this year. Check the swing. Did he go? No, said Dan Iasoni.
A cutter there, Kenny. The first time I've seen him try to tie up a lefty with that cutter inside.
Deep to right. It's in the park. Chu, this should be good. Settles underneath it. Here's the throw. Here's the play at the plate. He's in there. There's just too deep for him to show off his arm. A sac fly for Granderson, and the Yankees have a 1-0 lead.
I'll tell you what, Chu was deep on that ball. And I mean, obviously Gardner's got great speed. You put an average speed guy, that's going to be a close play at the plate.
Didn't quite drive it, but gets the runner in from third. What's that, 5 out of 7 now?
Here's Teixeira. That one's driven deep to right. Fair ball, it's gone. It is a foul ball.
Tell you what, when Granderson put the ball in the air to right field, that got to rise out of the crowd.
Yeah.
Now Teixeira hitting one down the line, that got to rise out of the crowd.
It's funny how the people are starting to get into what's going on. They almost expect these guys to be hit. See Mark Teixeira, we talked about it earlier, when you get a good pitch to hit. Very disappointing when you hook it foul.
You know, looking at the stats of getting the runner in from third base with less than 2 outs, you know who the best on the team is? Nick Swisher. 12 out of 14.
Yeah, you could have given me a couple guesses. I wouldn't have got that.
86% of the time he's gotten a runner in from third base. %70 is pretty good.
Yeah, well, the major league average is just over 50, isn't it?
Grounded to first. Laporta will step on the bag, and that will do it. But the Yankees get a run on 1 hit. Nobody left. We played 3. 1-0 Bombers. Quit line quiz. We always do in the top of the 4th inning. Who were the 3 Yankee pitchers to throw no-hitters against the Cleveland Indians? Ooh. I know 1 for sure. I think I know 2.
It's the way life is, Michael. They ask you 3, you know 2, right?
The way life is.
Meatloaf said 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
In this game, it's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Pitch to Chu is outside 1-0. Chu is 0 for his last 12. And as Paul mentioned earlier, 2 for 35 against the Yankees here at the stadium. Skied the other way. You know, everybody you talk to with the Indians, and we mentioned this on Friday when the Indians came into town, is that Chu has lost face in his country because of his DUI arrest, which took place the first week of May. And that's why he's playing so poorly. But, you know, if you really examine his numbers, I don't know if that's the truth, because he just got off to a terrible start overall.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, just terrible. He started the year 1 for 16 and 2 for 24, so that was before that unfortunate incident, and maybe that's exacerbated things, but I don't think that's the reason he's not hitting. There's a base hit to right center field. Nick Swisher cuts the ball off. Chu's going for 2. Here's the throw, not in time. Kind of a weird slide, might have hurt himself.
You saw another part of his game there. He's got good speed.
You're not used to running the bases here in Yankee Stadium. We talked about his numbers, but boy, what a relief when you're a hitter and you just feel like you're stymied at a ballpark to throw one in there. It looked like he slid late, Michael. Hangs into that.
Ooh, that's close. Close to an injury. Look at it on Yes Mo. Oh, I don't even want to look. Had too many sprained ankles.
Well, the Yankees had a double, a start on the third. They moved the runner over. They got him in with a fly ball. Let's see if Laporta can move Chu over to third. High pop-up. He doesn't get it done. And Cano puts it away for the first out.
Watching Freddie Garcia pitch now. We've mentioned many times that in his early days with Seattle, he was a strikeout pitcher. Blow people away. Now he's going to let you hit the ball. He just doesn't want you to hit it really good.
Right.
He'll keep you a little off the balance or off the end of the bat or jammy every once in a while.
Well, he used to be able to overpower you. Now he's really got to work out there. Not that he wasn't working before, but he's got to outthink the other player.
He used to face him when he threw hard, didn't he?
Yeah, in Seattle, I mean, he was a dominant guy. 94, 95 mile an hour heavy sinker. But, you know, a lot of pitchers can't go from that and go to where Freddie is now. And he's smart enough to understand, you know, how to change your fastball from 88 to 84 to 85 and then still, you know, be successful with a split finger.
Russell Martin, maybe back feeling better. Chu headed back to second this time in the just ahead of the tag.
You a head first slider?
No.
I don't. It's one thing in the game I understand is why and how guys go head first.
You could jam your wrist or fingers.
Everything hurt.
But you would dive back head first if they tried to pick up
Yeah,
second.
off the first or second. Yeah, but anytime going into a base, I mean, it was always feet first.
Runner goes. And a stolen base at third, so they get him over to third anyway. Or he gets himself over. Garcia's not paying much attention to the runners at second.
Well, Freddie Garcia is also a good guy. I mean, if you pick that split finger, he throws it in the dirt a lot, which he did there. Just
a little chewed up running the bases here, isn't he? Man, look at that uniform.
He likes those old bases. They used to be like pillows, you know.
Yankees have the infield in.
This has been an experience running the bases here, Fred. Dove into second twice. Once at third.
Swing and a miss, big strikeout of Orlando Cabrera as the veteran can't get the runner in from third.
We talked about the splitter being the big difference for Freddie Garcia. That's usually his put-away pitch. Let's see what he gets Cabrera with. Yeah, that's a splitter. A nasty one at that. Looked like a strike, and now it isn't. Trap door opens and it disappears.
There's Austin Kearns. Count 1-0. Indians are 3 for 18 in the series with runners in scoring position, 0-4 today. And they had a terrible homestand where they were 1-6 with runners in scoring position. And that number will get worse as Kearns grounds to Jeter, and that will do it. So the leadoff double is wasted. No runs are hit. One man left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. 1-0 Yanks. We're going to give the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz.
Knows the answer.
I'm not sure about that. Who are the 3 Yankee pitchers that throw no-hitters against the Indians? So Jim against the Indians. I didn't know Monty Pearson.
1938. That's going back a ways.
Yes, it is. Little Yankee fans happy.
Cute baby.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. Now, with that ground ball, the Indians are 3 for 19 with runners in scoring position this series. They had finished a 7-game homestand where they were 1-6. And in the 7-game homestand, they were 3 for 42 with runners in scoring position. So now, this is the 10th game of that stretch. They're 6 for 61 with runners in scoring position. Not going to win many games.
No, it's no secret. You got to score runs.
Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit for Rodriguez.
Alex's 4th hit of the series.
Paul, I had to pay for your autograph. Great player, great announcer.
Pay for it.
Thanks for the memories. That's not a poster. That's a big letter.
What was that? I mean, would they write that on a napkin or something? A hot dog wrapper? Huh? Where'd that come from?
They're all just a little bit upset that they didn't come up with the idea of the poster from yesterday where the kid got himself a signed Paul O'Neill baseball. Here's Robinson Cano. Cano struck out looking with runners on first and second, 2 outs in the first. That one is scalded into center field. Brantley's there. 1 away. Hey, Glenn's here again. Now he's wearing the O'Neill shirt backwards.
I know, is that the way you're supposed to wear that shirt? That's right.
Good old Glenn.
He's got a Kenny Singleton sign today. He's got it wrapped up. He's going to break it out in about the 5th.
See, he thinks so much of you, Paul. He doesn't want to put your name on his back. He wants to put it on the front so people see him coming.
But the thing is, oh, look, he's in the front row, so the whole stands behind him. Don't know who he's got. Oh, see? There we go.
Got a Singleton sign.
How come he's not smiling?
Been watching Baltimore baseball for years. It is.
Wow.
The last few, let's put it that way. Not back in the day. Well, at least he got my number right.
Nick Swisher grounded to first in the second. Grounded to first and off of Laporta's chest. And Swisher will reach. That was a nasty hop.
Second tough hop we've seen today. We saw the ball that Cabrera hit the Jeter take a little flyer. And this one, man, it looked like he hit a trampoline about 10 feet in front of Laporta. He's wrong. Oh, man. He barely got glove and just some hand on this one. There's that high hop. Oh, that might have been a trip to the dentist if it.
You usually see those hops off the dirt. That came off the grass.
Watch him get his head out of the way. That's good thinking.
Nick Swisher gets a hit.
That could be the type of hit that really gets you going, too.
Yeah. Did you see his reaction when he hit it? That the last thing on his mind was there's a hit.
Here's Posada. He has his average over 220 now at 222. Pitch outside. He's singled to right in the second. Those 6 homers came early, so he has not gone deep in a while. Foul away. .108 at bats without a home run. Last one came April 23rd. And this is the second longest homerless streak of his career. 136 in 2002. Also was 0 for 4 in 2003 before he hit his home run. So 140 ABs. But in the month of June, Jorge 13 for 26. That's 500. No June swoon. Jorge's April and May showers have brought June flowers. Thank you, 21.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Oh, stop already. He's not that nice.
Hang on, let me tell him to hang up. I'm on speed dial.
The 2-1. Fouled away.
I don't know how much you got for that ball on eBay.
Not much, believe me.
Boston has jumped out to an 8-1 lead over Toronto, top of the 5th.
Tell you what, their bats are just jumping out of the bat rack. They are scoring runs at will. Started off in this series, and they came in here hot. How many? 8 or 9 games in a row they've won?
8.
8 now. Nice block there by Santana.
I think they scored 16 runs yesterday. They're only half as good as today as they were yesterday.
Still early.
Detroit winning, so Cleveland has an opportunity to drop out of first place with a loss today.
Detroit 2-1 over Seattle, top of the fifth. Tampa Bay's 3-2 over Baltimore, top of the second.
See that? Now he's got it out, Kenny.
He's playing both sides of the street. That's it.
Paul O'Neill loves ice cream. That's not exactly, splitting the atom there. Grounded through for a base hit for Posada. A-Rod will hold at third. They do not want to run on Chu. Bases loaded for the Yanks.
Well, Jorge continues to do what he's been doing here in June. I mean, he gets a pitch, hooks it in the hole. Tomlin stays in the zone, but ground balls are finding a hole. But Chu has saved him a run here because of the arm strength, and it's given him an opportunity to still try to get a double play and get out of this inning.
Yeah, Robbie Thompson with A-Rod rounded third just threw up the red line. Here's our Coors Light freeze can. A little off the end of the bat, but he found the hole, got it through. Good extension on the swing, follow through. Man, he's hot.
There's Russell Martin. He is not hot of late. His average is dipped to 236. Hit into a double play his last time up. Pitch outside. Missed 4 games with a sore lower back. First game back in the lineup.
All right, missed the math, Wiz. Georgie's now 14 for his last 27.
There's a ground ball at third. There's one. And Martin, I believe that's his 10th double play this year. No, it's his 11th. And that was a big one as it ends the threat by the Yankees. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the 5th. Of the 5th inning, Yankees are leading this 1-0. Crowd got deflated with the 5-4-3 inning-ending double play.
Yeah, big opportunity there to throw up some runs. Freddie Garcia's doing his part.
It'll be Jack Hanahan, Michael Brantley, and Asdrubal Cabrera.
You know what? I think you saw Freddie Garcia throw the ball in to Russell Martin. I think somebody from the Cleveland dugout wanted to look at the ball. You don't see that very much in this day and age, because they change the baseballs after every ball hits the dirt. I don't know if they're accusing Freddie of doing something to the baseball.
Yeah, you start seeing unusual movement, but I mean, Freddie throws that split finger and it can do a lot of different things. So but once in a while, teams will do that just to try to get in the pitcher's head too. You know.
You're talking some old-time pitchers, though. They're amazed that sometimes pitchers, when the ball goes in the dirt, ask for a new ball.
Yeah, they can't control it. I mean, if that scuff is on one side, the ball will naturally go the other way because it. Where's our lighter when we need him? It catches the wind current and this and that and goes the other way. But some people know how to control that, and some people don't.
Seems like the old-time guys really knew how to control it.
Well, it's because they didn't throw balls out of play like they do now.
Right.
And the pitcher would get a ball back and had a little scuff mark on it. They knew what to do with it.
This is great, no?
Sometimes their catcher would help them get the scuff mark.
Well, I've heard stories.
Grounded to first, Teixeira. 1 out. Now let's check out the GE Capital partner play. Great partnerships are built on trust. At GE Capital, we prove that every day.
Yeah, this is started by third baseman Jack Hanahan, and he throws a rocket over the Cabrera at second. Middle of the chest, and it turns it over. 5-4-3 around the horn, and that kind of deflated the Yankees' threat in the bottom half of last inning. And right there, that was well turned.
One down here is a Brantley, and there's a strike.
Brantley's dad, I think he was a hitting coach for the Toronto Blue Jays for a little while.
I think they work on the offseason a little bit.
I think they worked through his teenage years and before that. You'd be proud to have your son playing in the big leagues.
The 1-2. Now, Paul mentioned earlier the Tigers are winning, and right now the Indians obviously are losing. The Indians are in danger of falling out of first place for the first time since April 7th. So they've been there for a while. They had a nice big lead, and most of it's gone. At the beginning of their homestand, where they were 1-6, they were 7 games ahead. And that was only 10 games ago.
You know, between the innings, I'm gonna get the media guide out or some of the scores and just find out how they were winning early in the year, because right now you can tell that this team is going to have trouble scoring runs.
That one's chopped right back to Garcia.
Don't have the lineup to do it.
Well, they miss Hafner for sure.
That's for sure.
Well, stick around after the postgame for an all-new WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show as the skipper looks back on his time in Chicago. Then it's Yankees on Deck presented by Blimpie as Phil Hughes hangs with the Tampa Bay Lightning at Steinbrenner Field. It's all coming up after the postgame. It's only on Yes. Joe also on that show, give you a little bit of a preview, revealed what he was really ticked off at Manny Acta about on Friday, because Acta said, tell your player to calm down, as Drupal Cabrera picks up his second hit, a 2-out single, and Joe goes, don't tell me what to do with my players. You take care of yours, and I'm going to take care of mine. It's almost like the family in the park when somebody says, tell your kid to stop. Nobody wants you to have to be told what to do with your own kid.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell one of your star players to calm down when you just got, one thrown right at your neck. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Michael, I'm looking through it right now. Some of their wins early in the season, I mean, they were throwing up a lot of runs, 12, 9, 8. They had a 19-1 game against Kansas City. So times have definitely changed for the Cleveland Indians in the sense of their offense.
You know, most people thought their offense was only going to get better, and you see 30 and 15, they scored over 5 runs a game and pitched well. Since then, 4 and 13, 2 fewer runs per game, and 2 more runs they've given up. So those 2 numbers, when they don't jive like that, it doesn't work out. But everybody thought they'd be better offensively because Chu was going to start hitting, Santana was going to start hitting, but then Hafner got hurt, and Sizemore went on the DL. And now since Sizemore's been back, he's not the same player, and here he is at the plate.
Hafner was the one, though. He being out with an oblique injury, because he was hitting .485 when runners in scoring. That's your number 4 hitter. That's what he's supposed to do.
And I talked to him today down on the field, and he was taking batting practice, talking about going to Akron for a little rehab stint and trying to get back in there. But you know, it's a welcome sight for Manny Acta, obviously, to see him out taking BP, getting his swings in again.
Speaking of Akron, the home of LeBron James, I talked to CC Sabathia today. He's excited about watching the game, and he said he's just got to let it come to him. He said, you know, he's trying to do too much. But CC made a prediction. He said if they win today, they'll win Game 7.
I think anytime you're a team on the brink of winning something, in the Mavericks case, you don't want to get to that last game, because momentum changes so fast in those short series. You know, if Miami wins a game, all of a sudden the momentum's on their side, and they're Game 7 at home. So I agree with CC that if the Mavericks are going to win, they better win tonight.
Been a great series.
Has been a great series.
I mean, when you get all those games coming down to the last couple of minutes, last couple of seconds, that's all you could ask for. So Game 6 tonight with the Mavs up 3-2. And CC and LeBron became friends when CC was at the Indians. Runner goes, and Sizemore swings and misses, no throw. So another stolen base for Cabrera. In fact, 3 straight against Russell Martin today. Check that, 4. They're 4 for 4 in stolen base attempts.
You know, you've stolen 4 bases, and you're still have a 0 in the scoring column. So
you can't get that hit at the right time.
Sizemore singled and walked today. He's down in the count 1-2 against Garcia. Indians 6 for their last 61 in these spots. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Ball dipping down and in. 6 for 62. Hit. No errors. 1 man left. We're halfway through. The Yankees are up by 1. Question: an injury to which of these positions is the most difficult for a team to overcome? You've been texting us at 58772, and here is how you voted. Everyone agrees with us. Well, not everyone. 63% do. Frontline starter, then impact hitter, and late inning reliever. Well, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Brett Gardner will lead off. Gardner scored the only run in the game. Doubled leading off the 3rd. Moved to 3rd on Jeter's fly ball to right. Scored on Granderson's fly ball to right.
Here's a look at that splitter. You can see the grip, and this is going to be the pitch that strikes out Grady Sizemore. In 3 of the 5 innings, Freddie Garcia has recorded the last out with a strikeout. And the Indians have had a hit in every inning. So that means there's been a man on base.
I mean, stats don't get in your head when you, what was it? Something out of 62, Mike? 6 for 62 or something like that.
Exactly.
It starts to weigh on a team mentally that you know you're not driving in runs, and it's like.
Brett Gardner slaps one to right field, and Chu misplays it. Gardner's going to go for 2. The throw not in time.
Looked like he was going to catch it, didn't it?
Yeah, this looks like he had an angle on the ball, and he almost lost it. And it's gotten bright out this inning. I don't know if he lost this in the stands, in the shirts in the stands, but he took a funny route. Yeah, I think he lost that ball in the people. You know, in a day game when it gets bright, and it's sort of getting bright with the sunshine out, you know, you lose the ball every once in a while. It doesn't take long before you can't make the play.
That ball just refused to be caught. Look at it. You got to see he's built the run. Jeter flied out to right to move Gardner over to 3rd.
Bunted, and bunted foul.
And Tomlin ran the ball in on him the last time, too.
It's such a backwards way, because I actually think it's easier for a right-hander to kind of jam himself and push the ball to the right side.
I mean, swinging away.
Yeah. And you know, you would think, you know, pitch him in, he'll have to pull the ball, but that's not necessarily true, especially with Derek. I mean, that's his natural stroke.
Jeter's really struggled this year with runners in scoring position. I mean, really, this is the guy that you'd always want up in these spots, but he's 10 for 63, which is a 159 average. Derek with a fly ball to deep center, fly ball to deep right. He's 0 for 2. 5 for his last 25. Here's Tony Gwynn talking about getting 3,000 hits. Getting to 2990 was simple. Those last 10 are hard to get because your thinking changes. People are coming to you to see you get hits, so it's a little bit tougher. Fortunately, Rod Crew and George Brett both told me the same thing. You buy that, Paul?
Well, I've never been in that position, but it makes sense. I mean, as soon as you get to the close, there's one.
No, just broke one in the right field for a base hit. Gardner scores and Jeter's 8 away, and the Yankees are up 2-0.
Trying to hit the ball the other way, got in on him just enough to drop it in front of Chu. Scored Gardner from 2nd. And on the quest for 3,000, 2,992.
Now, Michael, I saw that they took that ball out of play. Are they keeping every ball now?
They
going
might
up to
be.
3,000?
You know what? I didn't know that they were, but if they're pulling it out of play like that, they just might be.
You saw Derek as he's running towards first, make sure that Gardner's going to score, and he will.
So Gardner scored both runs. Yankees up 2-0. Here's Granderson. Tomlin deals, and a strike.
You know, some guys on replays, you know, that are fast, you just really can't tell. You know, I mean, Gardner, when you watch him run, you can tell that's not in fast motion, folks. He can run.
Now, you were a good base runner, Paul, because you were the oldest player ever to get 20 stolen bases. And then you said, that's it? I got 20 stolen bases, I'm retiring.
I've had enough. I was more about stealing bases on pitches. And I would try to guess on breaking balls and things like that. Because obviously I didn't have the speed like Gardner or somebody like that could outrun the ball and just have to have a great jump.
Pitcher didn't have a good move.
Yeah. I mean, there were some pitchers that, you know, slide step pitchers, things like that, that you didn't even think about stealing bases. I mean, it just don't give you much of a chance.
Line drive center field. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. A double, a single against Tomlin. Yankees set up for the heart of the order.
No, they're not killing the ball this inning off Tomlin, but, you know, the balls are falling in. And again, the Yankees have put themselves in a position that they could throw up a few runs and make it much more comfortable for Freddie Garcia.
Yeah, we're getting down to the third time through the order now. So they've seen Tomlin twice. Now they're starting to put things together. They had 3 hits last inning. They got 3 hits this inning.
This is the second time the Yankees have faced Tomlin. First time was his major league debut, and he did great. 3 hits and just 1 run. Didn't walk him better. And lasted 7 innings.
He got the win.
Here's Mark Teixeira, walked and grounded to first. Good speed on the bases. Jeter at second, and Granderson is at first. Pitch outside.
Teixeira hoped that ball foul last time, had home run distance. You just got a feeling that he is really, really close to just popping one here. As a player, you're just in the dugout knowing that this guy is on the ball of pitches. Just missed that one.
Popped up, shading his eyes is Hanahan, and he makes a play. The infield fly rule was called anyway. And there's 1 down.
That pitch, I think it looks like he got in on him a little bit. He throws that cutter every once in a while, or tries to, you know, get it in off the plate.
This ball is way up there. He just got underneath it and popped it straight up. And as Michael said, the infield fly rule. Runners first, second, and third with less than 2 outs. Batters automatically out on a pop up to the infield that the umpires feel that the infielder should handle. And that's a rule that early days of baseball wasn't in vogue, and the infielders would let the ball drop and start a double, triple play to get out of the inning. So they.
Well, just think the predicament you'd be in if you're running the bases. You know,
where do I go? What do I do? But they instituted that rule to take some of the chaos out of the game. I don't think that was one of the original rules of the game.
Alex 1 for 2 today. Tomlin's 0-1. 0-2. That one's drilled to left field. Kearns turns, and it's over his head and rolls to the wall. Jeter scores. Granderson rounds third. They're sending him home. He scores. It's a 2-run double for Alex Rodriguez, and the Yankees lead 4-0.
Well, the ball's hit right on the nose. You hear the sound, and then when you hear that sound as an outfielder, you cannot make a mistake. Austin Kearns kind of got tied up and tangled up here, and ball got over his head too quickly. So if you're Tomlin, you know, a tough break. Outfielder got turned the wrong way. Cost you a couple runs.
Granderson hooks the slide and just gets that corner of home plate and got around Santana. Good throw. They might have had him. So A-Rod picks up his 38th and 39th runs batted in. And the pitch to Cano is high.
The Yankees starting to put things together with the bat the last couple of innings. Even though they didn't score last inning, they still had 3 hits.
Wow, they just went right over the 5th inning.
We've had enough of the 6th.
Maybe that's what's coming next.
All fixed. Oh, there's that disembodied hand. The 2-0. Lined into left field. It's a base hit. Cutting over is Kearns. Alex Rodriguez going to try to score. And he will. It's an RBI single for Cano. It's 5-0 Yanks.
Last time up, Cano hit a rocket to the center field of Brantley. Didn't get a payoff because it was line drive out. This time didn't hit the ball quite as well, but very effective. Semi-line drive into left field. A-Rod off and running. And he's going to come in to score the Yankees' 4th run of the inning and 5th of the game.
Tim Belcher wants to have a talk with Josh Tomlin. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So long conversation, and Belcher finally departs.
Well, Tomlin has worked out of a few jams, but it seems to have come to a halt this inning. Yankees are coming up with some big hits. All of a sudden, you know, 2-0 becomes 5-0. Big difference for the Yankees.
There's Nick Swisher. Infield single on a bad hop in the 4th inning. Before that, grounded to first. And the infield single was toward first as well. Pitch outside. 1-0. Pitch is high.
See, Tomlin started out the game, everything down in the zone. Now you see, you know, he's starting to struggle a little bit. See the bullpen up. Ball starting to get up around the waist.
Grounded to first, under the glove of Laporta, and under the glove of Orlando Cabrera. Moving to third is Cano, another base hit for Swisher. And the Yankees pound out their 11th hit. It's first and third, still 1 out.
Nick Swisher's having one of those days. If you put it, it's off the end of the bat. Just even in Yes-Mo is out of his reach.
Yeah, I think sometimes we get spoiled watching Teixeira play because that appears to be a play that he makes quite often. And you see the difference between Gold Glove position at first base and other teams that come up a little short. Good hustle by Cano to get to third base with 1 out.
Taking some deep breaths there. Here's Jorge Posada, 2 for 2. That one is lofted to left center field. Kearns makes the catch. Tagging is Cano, and he will score. It's a sac fly for Posada, and it's a 6-0 Yankee lead.
That's a good job by Robbie Thompson. I mean, you want to keep Jorge's confidence just sky high. He's swinging the bat better. That's kind of just a borderline fly ball. But, you know, it ended up, Austin Kearns doesn't throw real well. The ball was off target. Makes it a lot easier to play for Cano.
Plus you got the lead. Take the chance. You know, you send it. Keep the pressure on the defense.
There's Rob Thompson, third base coach, and Russell Martin in the batter's box. He's 0 for 2 with 2 double plays. And a strike. And there's a strike. Yankees have 6 hits this inning. They've got 12 hits overall. Count 1-2. So Tomlin came into the game with a 3.71 ERA and a 7-3 mark, but he has certainly stumbled here in the 5th.
Kenny, it looks like early in the game he had control of his changeup, and it was down, and he all of a sudden now the only thing he can throw over the plate, which has been high in the zone, is his fastball. He hasn't got to his off-speed stuff, and the Yankees are just teeing off on it.
Another ground ball by Martin. You can see he's just not right at the plate. And he grounds out, but the Yankees might have put this one away. They get 5 runs. Good day for Brett Gardner. A double in his first at bat and a run scored. Then another double, and then Derek Jeter chipped in. He's 8 hits away from 3,000. Yankees up 6-0.
With Michael Kay for an all-new GMC Presents Center Stage. The Brooklyn native chronicles his successful stage and screen career, including his rise to fame and his portrayal of Billy Martin. It's a new Center Stage Wednesday at 11. It's only on Yes. Good show, Michael?
Yes. Good guy, too. Big Yankee fan. Big Nick fan, too.
He had to be. Portrayed Billy Martin.
6-0. Yankees lead over the Tribe. Freddie Garcia has some room to work. And the first pitch to Santana is outside. Yankees looking to pick up their 3rd straight win.
Another day game win.
Indians have to be buoyed by the fact that Seattle is now taking a 3-2 lead over the Tigers, bottom of the 6th inning. Still early, though. We came very close yesterday to having something very strange happen this deep into a season. The Orioles went into the 9th inning with a lead over Tampa Bay, but Kevin Gregg blew it. The Orioles ended up losing the game in extra innings. But if they had held on and he closed it out, every team in the American League East would have been 500 or better.
It just doesn't happen, you know.
That include Toronto? Yeah. No, they lost yesterday, so they're a game under.
They're going to lose again today. They're taking a beating again.
12-1.
Yeah,
that's the East right now.
Yeah, the Blue Jays would have had to beat the Red Sox yesterday too. They had to find a way to score 13 more runs. But you're right, that's unusual.
Driven out to left field deep. Going back is Gardner, leaps and he makes the play. You know, Brett Gardner came up as a center fielder, and I got to tell you, he plays a really good left field.
I mean, he uses his speed. He gets back close. I mean, gets back to the wall quick.
I always felt that left field in Yankee Stadium one of the toughest outfield positions to play in baseball, and you have to have center fielder skills to play left field. There's a lot of expansive ground out there in the left field, and Gardner, with the, as Michael said, center fielder speed makes the play.
Here's Chu. A lot of our younger fans might not realize this, but Paul O'Neill's first year as a Yankee, he played left field. And then he marched up to the front office and said, you better trade Tartable because I'm not playing out there.
They didn't trade him. They just made him a DH. They just figured out I didn't have center field skills that he was talking about.
We'll throw him over and right.
I'll never forget the day that I went back over to right field. And I thought it was just for the day. I think something happened to Danny Tartable, to tell you the truth. And the next day I was back in right field again. And then I walked, and Buck passed me in the clubhouse, and he said, "You just look like a totally different person out in right field." And I said, "Really?" And then from then on, he just put me in right field. It was nice. There is a comfort level to being where you're used to playing, right, Ken?
I used to enjoy playing right field at Yankee Stadium. I didn't enjoy some of the comments the fans made, but they didn't get on me too much out there because they knew I was from New York.
You're a hometown boy.
Yeah.
Along with Ken Singleton and Paul O'Neill and Kimberly Jones, I'm Michael Kay. We thank you for joining us on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in New York City. We're in the 6th inning and the Yankees lead the Indians 6-0.
In fact, when we got to Boston, Earl Weaver used to put me in left field because he knew I couldn't cover right field in Boston.
Well, that was a tough right field.
That was tough. The Sun Field out there in Boston too. No fun.
That's one of the more historic plays in Yankee history. Lou Piniella reaching out in that 163rd game blindly. I think it was Jerry Remy's base hit. Didn't even see it, but somehow guessed where it would be, and it hit the glove.
I remember Jim Rice getting a triple on a ball hitting something that I couldn't find.
Now they want to go out and talk with Freddie Garcia. Runner goes down 6-0, and there's a strike, and they just let him go. 5th stolen base for the Indians today.
You know what, this day and age, if you're going to let people run, to get back in the game, much easier to get back in the game with singles and 3-run homers. You might as well take them if they're going to give them to you.
But you better You better make it.
Yeah, don't get thrown out.
Strike.
Talked about Freddie's last outing and how he usually bounces back. Well, so far today, he's really done that.
Swing and a miss. And Laporta down on strikes. He's 0 for 3.
Nice job of changing eye levels, huh?
Well, you can just tell these Cleveland Indians are just buffalo with men in position, scoring position. You see the awkward swings. They're just trying to force it to happen. Ball's out of the strike zone.
Probably looking for the splitter. He struck out everybody else on the splitter down, and all of a sudden he throws his best heater upstairs, and you're trying to catch up to it, and you can't do it.
Here's Orlando Cabrera, 1 for 2. Skied out to right field. Nick Swisher on the run, and he'll put it away for the final out. So the Indians continue to struggle with runners in scoring position. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Yankees up 6. Work ahead. Carlos Carrasco will go for the Indians, 5-3, 4.52, and AJ Burnett tries to bounce back from his poor start against the Red Sox, 6-4, 4.37. Our coverage will begin at 6 p.m. right here on Yes with the BP show. Pre-game show at 6:30. First pitch right around 7:07.
You know, it's funny. I came in kind of backwards for me from the other direction the other day to New Yankee Stadium and saw the bat there, and it's hard to even picture, you know, where it was with the stadium there because it's completely different.
Manny Acton decides to relieve Josh Tomlin of his pitching duties, and he makes the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by AT&T. And we'll see Frank Herman, 2 ends, make his 11th appearance, 12th appearance now. There's Brett Gardner. 2 doubles. Fouls away. Tomlin and Masterson looking in different directions.
Well, Tomlin keeps a streak alive, though. He went 5 innings. It's 25 straight now.
Pitch high. Gardner getting his average up to where, or close to where he wants it to be, 274. Count 2-1.
Frank Herman on the mound was born in Rutherford, New Jersey. And eventually went to college at Harvard.
He's pretty smart then.
Those smart fellas?
Yeah. The shortstop Cabrera makes the play.
It's Harvard. They're not impressed with that 94, 95 mile an hour fastball, are they?
They're not even impressed by 94, 95 on the test. They want 100.
Yeah, good piece of hitting. Brett Gardner swinging the bat really well. Drives it the other way. Unfortunately, Cabrera seems to be in the way.
Here's Derek Jeter. He's 1 for 3. Blooped a single for an RBI in the 5th inning. And now he's at 29.92. 8 away from 3,000.
This is where you can, I mean, you look at the game score, you're up 6-0. These are where there's bats, as a fan, you can just watch his at bats and try to enjoy him trying to, squeeze out these last ones leading up to 3,000.
He's got Hanahan very deep at third, but I don't think he'd want to bunt with a 6-0 lead.
No.
Doesn't look too good, huh?
95 miles an hour. After this, 4 more games on this homestand. So he has 4+ to get 8 hits.
That's tough there. That ball running in on your hands. So if you committed to it, you figure out you're not going to be able to put it on the barrel. You kind of pull your hands in, but there's not much you can do with it.
Derek is a .342 lifetime hitter against the Indians. With 10 homers and 65 ribbies. His rookie year, his first game in '96 was against the Indians at what was then Jacobs Field. And you knew he was something special. All eyes were on him. Rookie shortstop, and he gets a home run off Dennis Martinez, and then made a great over-the-shoulder catch in short left field. And that turned out to be his signature play as a shortstop.
It's funny because you look back at certain things that look like so long ago. That does, and then you remember him in that game. That doesn't seem that long ago.
Got a brand name, El Presidente.
Swing and a miss. Jeter down on strikes.
Dennis Martinez went on to win more games than any other Latin pitcher. There's that fastball. Look, Derek, look back. What happened to this one?
Yeah, that's you don't see a fastball with that kind of movement. It didn't really sink. That just sailed sideways about 3 feet, especially at 95 miles an hour.
Here's Curtis Granderson. He's 2 for 2, but they've kept him in the ballpark. Pitch outside. Scored a run. Drove in a run.
By the way, Toronto's only run today with Bautista hit a homer.
So he's now in the lead.
Back on the board, huh?
Hadn't hit one in a while.
Now, Paul mentioned this on the post game yesterday. It shouldn't come as a huge surprise. Granderson hit 30 home runs the year before he came to the Yankees, and playing in very large Comerica Park, although he only had 10 of the 30 in Detroit that year. He hit 20 on the road, but here he's playing 81 games in a ballpark that really is suited to his swing. He didn't hit his 20th last year until late in September. Now, we're not even at the All-Star break, and he's at 20. But he does not consider himself a home run hitter, and said that Teixeira is going to pass him and Bautista will pass him, and Bautista did today. Moved ahead, actually, didn't pass him. The 3-1. Another base hit. So he's 3 for 3. And Curtis thinks that's more the type of hitter he is anyway.
Tell you what, when you're locked in, home runs, the other time, first time up, he slapped at the left field. This ball, he's, see that? Enjoying the hit still. The lefty, too, Mike.
I saw that, yeah. Here's Mark Teixeira 0 for 2 with a walk. Shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side. Count 1-0. 6-0 Yankees as they try to win their 3rd in a row. Hit right into the teeth of the shift. And that will do it here in the 6th. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left. Let's go to the 7th. Yankees up 6-0. In part by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Cadillac scoreboard, 6-13-0, leading 0-5-0. Ballpark looks great from above. And Austin Kearns will lead off against Freddie Garcia, who's looked pretty good over 6 innings, 5 shutout innings. Well, check that, 6 shutout innings on 5 hits. Kearns could not hold up.
You cooking tonight, Michael?
Am I cooking?
Yeah, firing the grill up for us or something.
You don't fire the grill up in apartment buildings, you get thrown out.
I like that.
Can't even put it on the terrace.
I thought one of the, you live in the city, you don't have to mow grass or anything. You can't grill out either.
No. You can order grilled food, but you can't do it yourself.
They bring it in on a bike for you?
Yes. There's one of the 2 lefties in the Indian bullpen, Tony Sitt. Now we have to follow up because everybody, always wonders about Frank and Mary. How was dinner yesterday?
It was awesome. Sitting at the top floor, looking out. It was a little foggy for my liking, but the food was excellent. Frank and Mary's company is good as always. They ask about you, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. Michael texted me last night.
Oh, you'll like this, Kenny.
Enjoy your time with Mary and Frank. I said, hey, I get a couple extra seats. It's too late.
I said it was too late, Pally.
Yeah. I wondered that. Was that supposed to be a Paulie misspelled, or what was that?
No, it was Pally.
Pally?
I'm like, too late, buddy.
Michael went to the movies last night.
I went to dinner in a movie. So did Jody. I didn't do it alone.
It's much more fun going with somebody with dinner in a movie than the old days, isn't it, Michael?
Yes, very much so.
In the old days. Had a nice dinner, but I was by myself.
Oh. You know what? I should have had you come with us.
You know what?
Just because Paul was
maybe for the dinner, but maybe not the movie. The dinner, okay, maybe.
Served into right field. It is a base hit. Nick Swisher's going to play it off the wall, as Austin Kearns will get a double.
The Indians, they don't have problems getting hits without runners on. It just seems like now runner in scoring position is where it all locks in mentally for these guys.
Cleveland has had at least one man left on base in every inning.
And they're 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
Kenny, you talk about going in to eat. You know how awkward it was when you were on the road and you'd go down to eat breakfast and, you know, none of your teammates were in there. And you know, you sit in the booth by yourself and just, you know, read the page. It just doesn't feel right. You know, you're supposed to have somebody there to talk to.
Usually you call one of the guys and say, come on, now I'll buy breakfast or something like that. Or it's your turn, one or the other.
That's when they don't answer.
Yeah. I don't feel well.
Grounded foul. Oh, nice kick save. See, that would be a very tough job because you have all these little kids screaming for it, and you have to pick one of them. You're going to crush the other ones.
You don't know coming into the game. Let's turn the glove the other way. Oh, right off the ankle.
Looked like Tim Thomas of the Bruins.
Should have put the glove on the foot.
The 0-2. High.
Yeah, we need to work with him a little bit, Kenny. Get him down on the ball a little bit more.
Maybe down on one knee.
Boone Logan throwing in the Yankee pen. Count 2-2.
Left-hander out of the bullpen is a major factor when you're playing the Cleveland Indians. They got some left-handed hitters that throw at you, particularly when Hafner's in there as well. And Chu, Sizemore, Brantley, Hanahan. We do have some switch hitters though. Santana, Cabrera.
Grounded to first. For the first out, moving to third is Austin Kearns. You know, the Red Sox are like that as well. An overabundance of lefties, and I asked Terry Francona, their manager, about it. He said, you know what, I'd rather be heavy lefty than heavy righty. He said, because there's a lot more righty pitchers than lefties. And you know, my argument about that, most righties seem like they hit righties because that's all they see. I think you could neutralize some lefties with left-handed pitching.
With a good left hand. Right. I mean, you can have an average guy out there and lefties will take care of, but you throw a CC Sabathia out or Cliff Lee, guys like that that are top shelf lefties, they'll shut down the left-hand lineup. Cleveland Indians, I was reading in the notes today, one of the few teams in all of baseball, if not the only one, I forget.
It's the only one.
To not start a left-handed pitcher all year. So, you know, if somehow they turn this around and then stay in this race, that could be a problem.
Now, I was talking to some Indian people, and I said, would this team be willing to add salary if they're close, if they stay in it? And I was told that they would be, but they are not willing to trade all their young kids in the farm system because this was not the year they were supposed to compete. It's either supposed to be 2012 or 2013, and they're not going to sacrifice their future to make a run at it this year. Fans have not responded as well as they would want. That's a place that used to sell out every single game, 455 games in a row at one point. They've got about 20,000 coming there on weekdays, about 30,000 on weekends.
Well, Michael, you and I were part of that run when they were going through those sellout. I mean, that was an exciting place to go in and play.
Great place. Great place. They're averaging at home 18,892. I was talking to Tom Hamilton, the radio broadcaster for the Indies. The economy in that area is very, very bad. That one is grounded to first. They're going to get a run in. Another bad hop as Teixeira flips to Garcia. Now it's 6-1 Yankees.
Still not a hit with runners in scoring position, though. That run scores on the ground ball. Teixeira stays with this hop. We saw what happened to Laporta. And flips it to Garcia, covering seconds consecutive play. Garcia's had to get over there.
Also, Tom was telling me they just had a Kenny Chesney concert, and he is loved in Cleveland. They only drew 25,000 people.
Wow. That has to be economy driven.
People just don't have the money to go to things like that. As Drupal Cabrera gets his third hit of the afternoon. So the Yankees had held him down 1 for 10 before he doubled in the third with 3 straight hits.
I think he's determined to get that average back over 300.
And he just did with that hit. Well, Joe Girardi is going to take the ball from Freddie Garcia. Wants to bring in Boone Logan to face the lefty swinging Grady Sizemore. And you'll hear the hand that Freddie Garcia is going to get. '11 All-Star Game in Phoenix. Help send your favorite New York Yankees to this year's All-Star Game by voting up to 25 times at Yankees.com. Cast your ballot now for your 2011 All-Stars. Vote early and vote often. Vote today at Yankees.com. Freddie Garcia.
Who would you vote for on the Yankee team right now?
Granderson.
Sheriff.
I guess there aren't any catchers having great years, so I guess I would consider Russell Martin.
I think several Yankees are leading at their positions. I think Cano is the second highest vote totals.
And he hasn't had a great first half.
And
he's been okay.
I think he's only behind Jose Bautista.
I mean, do you celebrate the 3,000 hit for an All-Star thing? Is that?
It's a good question.
I think Jeter's leading in voting. At least he was.
Boone Logan takes high. So runner on first base, 2 outs. So yesterday Colon went 6 2/3. Today Garcia goes 6 2/3. Cologne could have gone 9 yesterday if he didn't get hurt. 1-0. People around the Indians were just amazed that it seems like 2005 again.
He was impressive yesterday, and we kept going over how he was doing it. And I literally remember one slider. It was a 2-seam fastball and a 4-seam fastball on both sides of the plate, and that was it.
And he was put on the DL today, 15-day DL, strained left hamstring, and he said he's going to be back in 15 days. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know how. You know, if you're, that's his landing leg. So I don't know how you could keep your arm in shape if you have to stay off your landing leg for a while. You know, if 2 weeks to get your leg back, then have you lost your arm strength? So it's a matter of if he gets to a point where he can throw and let his leg heal and still keep his arm in shape.
So Luis Ayala getting ready, the 3-1. And that's the problem with Boone Logan this year. You come in to get lefties, you can't walk that lefty. And that's what he does with Grady Sizemore. Same two teams tomorrow, 6 o'clock with the BP show, 6:30 will be the, and then 7:07 first pitch. And here is Carlos Santana. Strike.
Santana's been as far as batting average is concerned, a lot better right-handed this year.
Foul back here.
But he and Chu have both struggled with runners in scoring position. That's been a problem for Cleveland. Your 4 and 5 hitters during most of the season have not been able to drive in the runs.
Six-1, Yankees lead, top of the 7th. 2 on, 2 out, the 0-2. Grounded to Alex Rodriguez. He'll go the short way, get the force, but the ball is dropped. Everybody is safe. I don't know if Robbie didn't look that into his glove or if it was a poor throw. We'll take a look on the replay.
I think the throw. It's going to be an error on the throw by Alex Rodriguez. Let's see.
Yeah.
Cano had to leave the bag to come up with the throw. You can see he's reaching. He still has to stretch even further. The foot comes off. So even if he caught the ball, the runner would not have been out. So it's going to be E5 on the throw.
And now it extends the inning. I still think he could have caught that. It looked like he caught it on the heel, not the webbing.
He would have caught it, but his foot wasn't on the bat.
But if you watch that replay again, I think he misjudged where the ball was.
Yeah, he's kind of round in the bag. I mean, you go to the bag, and what the mistake it looks like is he started to stretch towards the ball before he picked up where the ball was going to go. Obviously, you could blame either guy. I mean, the play's got to be made.
Looking at that, though, do you think that he thought it was on 1 out? It looked like he's trying to get position.
Yeah,
to
that's
throw
what I
first.
say. But he's kind of round in the bag, like he's going to.
Yeah, it looked like he's getting in position to throw.
Tell you what, if he'd have done that, he'd have caught Teixeira by surprise.
Hit in the dugout.
Big spot in this game with the dangerous Chu at bat. 1 and 2 now. Yankees lead the Indians 6-1, top of the 7th inning. Crowd of 46,791 here at the park. Blocked by Martin. Chu this year is 10 for 59 with runners in scoring position. That's 169. Got a lot of game on the front of that uniform. Been rolling around in the dirt. The 2-2. Line drive right at Jeter. That'll do it. But the Indians get 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and the bases are left loaded. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees are leading this one 6-1. We're going to stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Will be back for the post-game show. Alex Rodriguez is going to lead off here in the bottom of the 7th. Check this out. He has 2 homers in the series, which give him 31 against Cleveland. So Alex has 30 or more home runs against 11 teams, and he's just missing against the Yankees. He had 28 against them. That's amazing. 68 against the Angels. And Alex leads off here against Tony Sipp. There's a strike.
Yeah, outside of as we look at our Cadillac scoreboard, Yankees leading 6-1. Liriano hasn't had that great a year.
No.
Outside of the fact he pitched a no-hitter earlier, and he's working on one again today.
Been on the DL too.
Yeah.
He went on the DL right after the no-hitter. Right?
New pitcher for the Indians is Tony Sipp. Pretty good numbers, 2.42.
Hey, did you hear anything about a shakeup at the leagues again?
They're thinking about realignment. That was in the paper today, where they put 15 teams in each league. There'd be no divisions. and all five, the first five, the five best records in each league would make the playoffs. There's a ground ball at third. Hanahan for the first out.
And one team would have to go back to the American League.
And
or the
they're talking
National
about Houston going to the American League so they can start a rivalry with the Rangers.
Oh, that's why they want to do it.
And they would have to be interleague every single day because otherwise,
yeah,
two teams would always be off.
Wow.
I don't like that.
What do you think?
I like it the way it is.
I like American League, National League.
I do too.
And also, the whole adding another wild card team is to keep people interested in divisions. Well, if it's going to be the top 5 finishers out of 15, believe me, the bottom 6 teams are going to be out of it. And there's not going to be that much drama. I don't know why they're thinking of this. Yeah, you might have just one race. You're going to kill all your races. Because the team that's in first place, and if the team that's in 5th place is 10 games behind, well, where's the excitement there? The 1-0. 2-0. Yankees 6 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. The Indians 1-7-0. Foul back.
Oh, kidding. When you were in Baltimore and there's no interleague play, I mean, if there were games on in the National League, I mean, when I was in the American League, I knew nothing about, the other league. I was traded over here from the Reds. I mean, you'd go to the stadiums first time and like, wow, this is what this one looks like. You didn't know about it, but you knew every single player, pitcher. For you, would be the American League, and for me, it was the National League.
Yeah, the only time he played National League teams was in spring training.
Exactly.
Robinson Cano picks up his 2nd hit of the afternoon.
Nice bounce back for Cano. 0 for his first 2. Now he's 2 for 4.
Aerial coverage today provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned of making tires that go the distance inspires what they roll into use. Great shots. So here's Nick Swisher with a runner on first and 1 out. Strike. Swisher is 2 for 3. He pulled all 3 at bats, and one he got a lucky bounce that almost took off the head of Laporta. They scored it a hit, and then he just sneaked one through the right side for a base hit. The other time he grounded out to first. So he's up to 225. Check swing. He goes 0-2.
This movement on that changeup, that thing disappeared down and away.
The 0-2. Swisher this year against lefties, 19 for 56. That's .339. But Kenny, being a switch hitter, knows that you want to be better from the left side if you're going to be weak in one side because you see so many more righties.
Well, you like to be having it going on both sides, but
that makes it even more enjoyable.
Michael's right though, because of the fact you get up many more times left-handed. You want to be really rolling from that side of the plate.
You look at Nick Swisher from the right side of the plate and the left side, and the difference is he has very little movement from the right side. Everything is very quiet. On the left side, he had it going last year, and now you see a lot more, head movement and things. But watch his right-handed swing.
his body, his head, his hands, nothing really moves until the ball's on its way.
Swinging from the left side this year. He was against right-handed pitchers. He's 20. That's 170. And he's their leading hitter against left-handed pitchers. Cano leads off first. And Swisher walks. Always has a good eye. Always works the count. That's going to bring up Posada. Posada was really struggling coming into the first game against the Red Sox. He wasn't even in the starting lineup against Lester. Then Teixeira got plunked on the right knee, helped off the field. Posada took over at first and promptly got 2 hits against Lester and then another hit later on. So that might have turned things around for him. His average now at 227 as he's 2 for 2 with a sac fly today.
Looking up at the scoreboard there, it says even with his struggles against left-handed pitching this year, he's career 292 hitter against lefties.
It would be an unbelievable story if he ends up maybe 265, 270 after being buried for as long as he had been buried. And things seemed to turn around after that fateful night against the Red Sox, their first time when he didn't want to play when he was batting 9th and took himself out of the lineup. But since that point, he's hit over 300.
I mean, it's funny because do you look at that as an intentional thing that Joe Girardi did to try to light a fire in Georgie, and did it work? Who knows? It might be just me thinking that, but I mean, little things that managers do sometimes to try to either pat you on the back or really make you mad. You know, that's part of managing.
Did you ever bat 9th?
No, I don't think I batted 9th. No.
I batted 8th a couple of times.
Yeah. Just you're glad when the game gets like in the midway because everybody kind of forgets the order by then. You don't get up to the 3rd inning. It's not good, huh?
At least they don't announce it.
Yeah.
They don't announce it with halfway through the batting 8th.
High pop-up. And Brantley makes the play for the second out. And that's going to bring up Russell Martin.
Be interesting to find out how Russell fares after the game today. He hadn't played 4 days with a sore back. It appears to me it's bothering him more at the plate than it is
you can
actually
tell
catching. Yeah,
when he makes a swing and he's trying to get out of the box, it doesn't look real comfortable.
Hurt his back lifting weights after the first game against the Red Sox. Just felt something to give in his back. Paul, why do they lift weights after the game? What's the purpose?
A lot of the guys, I mean, that was the old school that thought you'd lift it after the game to try to get your weights in. But, you know, towards the end of my career, like I've said many times, you got on a routine, especially on the road, where you'd lift in the mornings and rest all day and be fine. But, you know, lifting after the game was very tough because you're tired. And if you had a bad game, the last thing you want to do is going in there and lift weights. But a
lot of catchers and pitchers like to do stuff after the game because obviously you can hit your legs hard and you'll recover by the next day. You get your workout before the game, Michael?
Usually before the game.
Yeah.
But on a day like this, it'll be after. You take Sundays off, though.
That's right.
You still lift, right, Paul?
Oh, yeah. Have to. You got young kids that are still playing sports. They're always challenging to go in there and lift. And, you know, you don't like doing it, but you hate the way you feel if you don't do it, right?
You feel sluggish.
Swing and a miss. Martin's struggles continue. He's now 2 for 18 in June. No runs a hit, no errors, 2 men left. We go to the 8th. Network.com. Here are today's candidates. Number 1, Freddie Garcia. Number 2, Alex Rodriguez. Number 3, Curtis Granderson. Number 4, Brett Gardner. You can vote now. You can make your voice heard. And, of course, standard text messaging rates apply. This is an important inning for the Yankees. Now, you say, well, they're up 6-1. I get it, but their pitcher is going to be Luis Ayala. Luis Ayala, with the injury to Soriano and Java and Feliciano, has to pitch well because he's that third guy after Robertson and Mariano. He's going to have to pitch some important innings. And so far, he's done nicely.
14 strikeouts at 18 in the third inning, 16 hits allowed. Maybe a few too many walks for 18 in the third innings, but now's his chance to step up. Good sinker, good slider.
Hyundai scoreboard has the Yankees up 6-1.
Boy, it just got bright, Michael. The sunshine just came out. Huh?
Yep.
You better update your weather forecast. Clearing?
It's clear.
We've got to the clear part.
Ayala some zip on the fastball. I'll go 92, 93. New right fielder for the Yankees, Chris Dickerson, and he was activated today. It was a line drive base hit. Gardner will get the ball in. Laporta leads off with a single. That's his first hit of the afternoon.
Michael, tell me that you don't feel the same way here. It's when Boston was in here, it just felt like no matter how many games they're going to play, Boston's going to win. It just looked that way at the time. And I get the same feeling with the Indians. I mean, no matter how many times they play the Indians right now the way these teams are, the Yankees just look like a superior team.
It certainly seems that way, and this might have been the exact perfect tonic following the Red Sox series.
Cleveland was already struggling when they got here. They had lost 6 out of 7 on a homestand.
There's definitely teams that you always feel like you can beat, but there's also teams that you just catch on a good week or a good month where they're just not playing well.
All right, on that 4 out of 5 championship roll, what was the team that you guys never thought you'd lose to?
You know, funny enough, the Atlanta Braves. I always thought that they felt like we were going to beat them, and we did when we got to the World Series again. And Baltimore, we had some years against them that worked out well.
Cabrera grounds into the 4, 6-4.
But the one team in that mix, and still in that mix, is Anaheim. Against the Yankees.
Here's Austin Kearns.
And the funny part is they still do pretty well. And a lot of it has to do with their manager, Mike Scioscia, one of the best managers in the game. Really knows his ball club.
Well, the Red Sox are up 12-1 top of the 9th, so if the Yankees hold on, they'll remain 2 out. And a strike.
There's an example of that movement on the fastball. There's a lot of late life. Knee high through the zone.
Looking back at those glory years in Baltimore, and then we were talking about your World Series last year. I mean, who were the big rivals? I'm trying to figure out who you were competing against.
Yankees and the Red Sox.
Was it?
Yep.
Still on.
3-way race every year.
Count 1 and 2. 6-14-1 for the Yankees. 1-8-0 for the Indians.
There you see 90 miles an hour, but with that movement on the inner half of the plate, tough pitch to hit for a right-handed hitter.
Running right underneath your hands. Watch the movement on this pitch. Right underneath. You know, back in those days, Paul, there was no wild card.
Yeah, you wanted it or not. You saw the grip on that, the two-seam fastball. That's how you get that movement.
So here is Hanahan. He has a 3-game hitting streak on, modest, but he's 0 for 3 so far today. He's showing a nice glove at third. He can really play defense.
Spring training invitee. Remember him with the Oakland A's.
Looped into left field. Gardner's there, and he'll put it away for the final out of the 8th. Good strong inning for Luis Ayala. 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th.
Here in the Bronx. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock with Adi batting practice today in the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Michael Ken and I are back to bring you the call from the stadium. Indians-Yankees starting tomorrow at 6 right here on Yes. I might have my golf spikes on. I got to come straight from a tournament tomorrow, Michael.
A tournament, really?
Well, a charity tournament.
Where's that going to be?
It's going to be out. A lot of the Giants will be there, so if I'm running a little late and I'm walking in my golf spikes, don't let anybody know, all right?
Okay.
But I'll be ready. I'll prepare on the golf course.
To bring the trophy with you.
Yeah, that's right. So if you're out there and you're playing with me tomorrow, the pressure's on you. We need to win.
Chad Durbin, the new pitcher for the Indians. Hyundai scoreboard. Yankees lead 6-1, bottom of the 8th. That one is slapped in the left center field. This could be fun. Splits the outfielders, and it rolls to the wall. Gardner around second. He's going to third, and he'll hold up with a triple.
Himself a nice afternoon, hasn't he?
I was going to say, if you haven't texted in your player of the game, that might have an effect on it.
I'll tell you what, the only time he made out, he lined out. Once it hits a gap and he's running, you can think 3. 2, a piece of cake. 3, he just trots into third with an easy triple, a smooth triple.
Now this could make things easier for Derek as his quest for 3,000 continues. He squeezes a hit here. He's got 2 on the day, and he's 7 away with 4 to go. 4 games left to go. And he gets a little help as the infield is in for the Indians. Durbin deals low. Derek blooped an RBI single in the 5th inning to right field. Hit number 2,992. Fly to deep center, fly to deep right, and also struck out. Two 2-0. Mike Muchlinski says he held up. There's a strike. Durbin deals. Chopped over the mound, through for a base hit. Gardner scores an RBI single for Jeter through the drawn-in infield, and he is 7 away from 3,000.
Imagine how much fun it would have been to hit with the infield drawn in every at bat.
It's like Little League, isn't it? With a big league bat.
2,993 for Jeter. Another game tomorrow, then 3 against the Texas Rangers.
Here it is, and Cabrera can't get to it. Neither Cabrera could have gotten that one.
And the Jeter family watches that ball get through. Mom and Dad and Sister Charlie have been along for the whole ride. There's a pinch runner for Derek as Eduardo Nunez takes over.
Anderson's got a chance with 4 hits today.
Those are always good days.
Yeah, those days don't come along very often.
That one gets away as Nunez heads to second. Fifth inning. Curtis Granderson made a great slide to score on Derek Jeter's RBI hit. misses his double. It's the IOTV HD Super Shot. Got around the tag and just touched the plate. Strike to Granderson. Yankees lead 7-1. That one's drilled deep to right field. Giving chase is Chu. He can't get there, and it bounces into the seats for a double. Scoring will be Nunez. Granderson 4 for 4, and the Yankees lead 8-1. It's called being locked in.
Yeah, this is a guy that we talked about how they like to play baseball in the day. Well, Curtis Granderson likes that sunshine too. The ball squared up on the barrel. The only thing, the difference with these in the past 3 nights where he's hit home runs, just didn't elevate it enough. Good at bats all day.
Durbin's faced 3 hitters. Giving up a single, a triple, and a double. Only 1 left.
I don't know that he's going to get that at bat, but I don't even know if you want to root for that at bat right now.
No, I mean this inning. He could give up the cycle in this inning.
Uh-oh.
High fly ball, right field. Chu makes the catch. And Granderson dances around the throw, gets back. So Durbin finally retires a Yankee.
Yankees have a season high 17 hits in this game. Previously they had 16 on April the 8th at Texas.
2 from Jeter and 2 from Posada and 2 from the guy at the plate, Alex Rodriguez, who fouls it back. Alex with a single to center in the 4th, a 2-run double over the head of Austin Kearns in left in the 5th. Also scored a run. Struck out and grounded to 3rd. That's Alex's day. Got 39 ribbies and 13 home runs. His average at 284. Joe Smith warming for the Indians. So the Yankees are about to go 17-3 in day games, and since 1961 that will tie the 2003 Mariners and the 2006 Yankees is the best day game start since that time.
Michael, can you imagine baseball when it was all day games? I just can't fathom that.
It's kind of all we know.
Yeah. All day games.
The fans making their way to the 4 and the 6 and the B.
About the scheduled doubleheaders.
Line drive, base hit. Granderson will score. 3rd hit for A-Rod. His 40th ribby, and the Yankees lead 9-1. Let's get a quick update from our good buddy Nancy Newman in the studio. Nancy? Thank you, Nancy. Sometimes that does it. You bat too long and the pitcher kind of gets cold on the bench.
Loses his rhythm.
Another trip to the mound to talk with Durbin. This has not been a good 3 days in New York for the Indians. They don't seem like they're competing. They're not getting hits with runners in scoring position. The pitchers aren't getting the Yankees out. And an Indian season, which was so bright for the first 2 months, surprisingly bright, now looking a little bit dimmer as they lose 6 out of 7 at home. Looks like they're going to lose their first 3 games on a road trip that will take them to Detroit as well, and then we'll really see where they stand.
Now we understand that Beltran got that hit leading off the inning against Liriano, and then when a pitcher gets in a no-hitter and he has to go back out there and pitch, I think the first hitter is the most dangerous because he has to regain his rhythm and what has worked so far during the course of the game.
Cano lost one to left field. Kearns puts it away for the second out.
And with a 27-minute delay because his own team was busy scoring 5 runs, he's probably, I got enough runs. Yeah. Let me get back out there.
Here's Dickerson. He took over for Swisher in the field in the 8th inning. So Swisher was 2 for 3 with a walk in the number 6 hole in the lineup, and now Dickerson will get his first hacks. He was activated today as the Yankees put 2 on the DL. Bartolo Colon and Amari Sini. They activated Noesi and Dickerson. Off speed, count 0-2. Now you might wonder, well, wasn't Dickerson just sent down? Doesn't have to stay down there at least 10 days. You do have to stay down 10 days unless there's an injury, and then that 10-day period is waived. And that's why Dickerson's being brought back up, because of the injury. The 0-2. 1-2. And the reason they want you to stay down there 10 days, they don't want teams using their roster that way. You know, if there's a lefty pitching, let's bring up 2 righties and then send them down the next day. They don't want that maneuvering like that. So keep them honest. It's 10 days unless there's an injury. 2-2.
Tell you one thing, when you've been in the major leagues, 10 days in the minor leagues seems like eternity anyway. I went through one of those 10-day things in 1986 when I got.
You knew it was only going to be 10 days?
No, but I got real hot, and then there was an injury, and it just, like I said, I felt like I'd been there 10 months.
Dickerson swings and misses, and that will do it. But the Yankees put up 3 more runs. Derek Jeter gets another hit. He's 7 away from 3,000. Yankees 3 outs away from a win. Goldman is back in the studio to recap all the big plays and get you the latest updates from around the major leagues. Plus, Kimberly Jones will talk to the players in the clubhouse. Do not miss it. It's the WB Mason postgame after the final out only on Yes. And following the postgame, a new edition of WB Mason Presents The Joe Girardi Show. A couple of changes for the Yankees. Francisco Cervelli will take over for A-Rod at third. The new shortstop is Eduardo Nunez. Remember, he had pinch run for Derek Jeter. And the new pitcher is Kevin Whalen. He made his major league debut a couple of days ago and did not pitch well. And Joe Girardi got a laugh out of him. He said, your heart's going to be beating a little slower next time. Don't worry about it. So this is next time as Whalen deals a strike. He was very effective. He was closing games at AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And the Yankees certainly think he's better than the way he looked the other day.
There's the walks. I mean, he had 4 walks in his first appearance in 1 inning. It's tough, no matter what kind of stuff you have to pitch around that.
And that was Friday. Came in for Ivan Nova. Yankees had a big lead, so they weren't concerned about blowing the game. But they did have to end up using Mariano Rivera in a game that at one point they led 11-2. Nice catch by a fan in the stands.
Well, the Seattle Mariners put away the Tigers, so it'll be one more day at least that the Indians will go to bed tonight in first place.
Strike 3. Brantley down looking.
First major league strikeout. Kevin Whalen. Nice job of framing the pitch by Russell Martin.
Whalen at AAA Scranton 1-1, 18 saves and a 1.67 ERA in 25 relief appearances. He came over from the Tigers in 2006 in the trade that sent Gary Sheffield to Detroit. And a strike to Asdrubal Cabrera, who has 3 hits today. No thanks, Paulie. I want Kim's autograph.
You know what? I do too. Don't worry about it there, pal.
Soft ground ball to first. Flip to Whalen covering, and the Yankees are 1 out away from their 3rd straight win. You're on TV, just as I promised.
No shame, dude.
0. Here's Grady Sizemore. Sizemore's walked twice today. He's 1 for 2. Single to center, also struck out. Inside.
Using some of his leadoff skills. A couple of walks today.
Well, Whalen was a catcher at one point. You can see the way he throws the ball almost from behind his ear. He's kind of got that catcher's release. There's a strike. Kind of short arms it.
Hey, tell you what we talked about too. He also breaks the ball from his glove.
What an opportunity for a young kid. You come up here, you do the job. There are jobs open in that bullpen right now. If you can get major league hitters out, you could stick.
Is what Paul was talking about, taking the ball out of the glove before he delivers. Seems like when he misses, he hasn't missed low. He misses high.
The 3-1. Pours it right in there. And the Indians are down to their final strike. Foul back as Sizemore keeps the game alive.
Michael, you got Miami tonight? We'll talk about tomorrow.
I'm rooting for Dallas, but I think that Miami's going to win the next 2 games. Kenny?
I'd like to see a 7th game, but I want Dallas to win.
And I think their best chance to win is tonight. How about you, Paul?
Yeah, I got Miami. We'll see.
3-2. Foul back.
I agree with Paul that Miami wins tonight. They're going to be really tough in their last game.
I think obviously all the pressure's on Miami tonight.
Isn't that what happened to the Celtics last year? They came down with a chance. They lost the last 2. Yeah.
3-2. Sizemore keeps it alive.
That's what you didn't want to see. You wanted to see get away from the walks. The first outing you talked about was very tough with 4 walks. He came back with a strikeout, and then all of a sudden you see a fastball. It didn't go high, Kenny. It went wide. Wow.
My bad. Here's Santana. And a strike. Popped up. That's going to do it. Gardner calls off Nunez, and the Yankees win. Put that one on the left side as they win 9-1. Kevin Whalen gets his first big league handshake as the pitcher gets the final out. 4 more hits for Curtis Granderson. He was outstanding. Derek Jeter got 2 hits, so did Posada. And Derek is just 7 hits away from 3,000, trying to get it done in this 10-game homestand. So the Yankees win this one 9-1, and you got to stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. Joe Girardi likes the resiliency of his team. After really getting beaten around by the Red Sox and losing 3 straight, they come back and they take the next 3 games, all 3 against the Indians, with 1 more tomorrow as they'll try to sweep a 4-game set. Well, we talked about Brett Gardner. He's standing with Kim Jones. Kim?
Listen to this, Michael, Paul, and Kenny. He says he's tired. You've been doing a lot of running, Brett.
Yeah, the last couple of days we've been running a lot, and today just a great team performance. Freddie pitched great. The guys in the bullpen came in and did their job, and offensively we pounded out a lot of hits, and we're able to get an early lead and hold it.
In the Yankees' 3 innings in which they scored runs, you led off with an extra base hit. That's got to be a great day at the office for you.
That doesn't happen very often for me. You know, I usually hit singles, but swing the bat pretty well today, and like I said, hopefully we can keep it going and into next week.
When you hit a triple like you did in your last hit, are you thinking triple right off the bat?
It depends where it's at. I mean, that one I was hoping it was gonna, get through there and get to the wall, but you never know. You never know how it's gonna hit on the grass out there, and just run hard until you have to stop.
We have fun watching you. Are those fun for you?
Yeah, they're fun. That's part of my game is running, and anytime I can get a ball to the wall or drive a ball in the gap, I'm thinking 3 out of the box.
We saw a nice defensive play and left by you as well. It seems like this team over these 3 games playing pretty good baseball.
Yeah, we have. We've been swinging the bats well. We've been throwing the ball well, and playing good defense. So feels good when you're doing that.
We'll let you go relax, Brett. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Thanks, Brett, and thank you, Kim. Well, Kim has to sign that poster, and then she get back in the clubhouse and interview the Yankees. But Brett Gardner put on a show today. Extra base hits, flying around the bases, picking them up, putting them down. And the Yankees pick up a victory 9-1 here at the stadium.